Hey everybody, it's Jillian. So I want to make this a reminder to all of you that are affiliated with the Jilly Juice world, or you are in biotech or the holistic world trying to figure out how you can kind of take my information and try to do something in your world. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Biotech and the holistic world will not be able to emulate or replicate the outcome that Jilly Juice is going to be able to create for their people. And I'll tell you why. Because all they do is deal with cures. Biotech and the holistic allopathic world, all they do is deal with cures. Or what are cures? Cures are a way to disable part of your body so that way you don't feel pain and you stop the temporarily the body's the body's recycling you back into earth. You kind of stop that process temporarily. And how you stop that process is you induce inhibitors that stop specific hormones and chemistries from coming to surface. And so but what happens is that kind of like, what it does, it shocks the system into doing something temporarily. But it shocks the system into doing something temporarily, and then eventually the body will adapt to those cures that the holistic industry and the allopathic industry induce. And then the body then goes and does what it's supposed to do originally, which is recycle you back into the universe. So what do I mean by that? Because when you think about it, the Jilly Juice, you can't just take the Jilly Juice for a specific symptom. I mean, you could on a topical level, but not everything that you are dealing with can be handled topically. I mean, when you have internal issues, okay, you can't just do the Jilly Juice topically and think that your internal issues are going to be taken care of. So the allopathic holistic world, they go in internally and they put together a conglomeration of elements that target specific systems, and they suppress the hormones that express certain symptoms or characteristics that shows you the body is trying to heal. And there are manifestations of symptoms that people don't want to deal with, such as, like, say, for instance, Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a symptom that the body expresses because the body is dealing with neurotransmitters. They deal with, what is it called? God, how do I even say this? It's a long word. Acetylcholinesterase. Let me, we're going to listen to this again. Acetylcholinesterase.
According to Wikipedia, acetylcholinesterase, also known as ACE or acetylhydrolase, is the primary cholinesterase in the body.
Okay, so what that is that allows, it is an enzyme that catalyzes the breakdown of acetylcholine and of some other choline esters that function as neurotransmitters. So why is it's an enzyme that catalyzes the breakdown of acetylcholine? Well, because the body is not getting what it needs. And so then there is the acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, which then stop the progression of Alzheimer's. But the acetylcholine and the acetylcholinesterase is a natural process. The body is trying to take away the malfunctioning cells, and you're supposed to be regrowing new ones so you don't induce Alzheimer's. But what happens is that the body isn't regrowing the cells that you need, and so you start seeing memory loss. Because these are natural symptoms when the body is trying to break down the bad stuff to bring in the good stuff. But people are destroying the bad stuff, but they're not bringing in the good stuff, and then they're interrupting the healing process. And even though, yes, they might get some memory back, they might kind of slow the progression of Alzheimer's, but it doesn't necessarily completely eradicate it altogether. So at some point, yes, they may stop that symptom, but they're still, and like playing whack-a-mole, the system is connected and other systems will be affected. And so With the J juice, when you do it and you take it, say you're doing it for Alzheimer's, well, you don't know when the body is going to address the specific symptoms. It may be addressing other parts of your body that you're not prepared to deal with. And so that's not the whole point of the allopathic holistic system, is to look at the body as a whole. The whole point of the allopathic holistic system is to compartmentalize the body as if it was separate, and it wants to have a guaranteed result of some kind, that if you're going in with the intention to eradicate Alzheimer's, that's what it's going to do, and it's not going to mess with anything else. And if there is side effects, those side effects are based upon predisposition. Okay? And so there's a lot of people who have those predispositions, and it may not trigger right away when they take the drug, but if it's already in their DNA, and or the medication is weakening those parts of the system while they're taking that drug for your Alzheimer's, then you will trigger the side effects at some point. So you may trigger side effects immediately, which then why people don't take the drug, or you may trigger the side effects down the road because the drug is actually damaging those parts of the body. So that's why the holistic allopathic system will not be able to replicate J juice at all, because we're not going in for specific symptoms. Even though you are being triggered to go into J juice because of your symptoms, that's not the point of J juice, is to only handle one or two things that you know about. It's going to handle everything that you know about and what you don't know about. And that is the shock factor when people do the J juice, because they're going in with a specific intention in mind. And that's not something that J juice addresses, is just whatever your intention is. It's everything, because everything is connected. When you take a drug or a detox or an allopathic or a holistic supplement, it still affects all parts of your body, but you're trying to alleviate a symptom, but then you are systematically destroying other parts of your system because you're taking something that is imbalanced in its conglomeration, especially when your body is made up of fatty acid, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals, and then you're taking an allopathic or a holistic supplement or a drug that has an imbalanced conglomeration, a condensed amount of fatty acid, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals, and you have a biochemistry that has imbalances in all aspects of those, and you're taking a drug that is more condensed in the minerals, and so then you do a heavy metal poisoning to your body because you have now caused more imbalances. And that is what goes on in the holistic world when you're doing zeolite or diatomaceous earth or bentonite clay for heavy metal detoxes. That's what causes then more heavy metal toxicity, because of what you're doing, bringing in the imbalanced chemistries based upon intention of curing something. Okay, so they're not hiding the cures, you guys. The cures are out there, but the cures that are out there are not regulated. And this is why the FDA is cracking down on the essential oil salesmen. The MLMers are claiming all these types of outcomes, and why, yes, the holistic market is under fire, because it's a lot more dangerous dealing with the holistic market than dealing with the allopathic market, because at least the allopathic market, things are tested and run through the FDA, going through a standard deviation scale. There isn't a standard deviation scale with the holistic market, because people are taking stuff in their backyard like garlic, thinking that because it's in nature, it's safe, and they overly do it and causing more heavy metal imbalances in their body. Because when you break down garlic, it actually is a conglomeration of minerals that a person already has imbalances, and it destroys their microbiome. Okay, you destroy the good bacteria in the gut, because now you are overwhelming your body with minerals. Okay, now you need minerals, but then when you're doing a bunch of garlic, because it's in your backyard, you're now overwhelming your system, which is that's why they call it a pathogen or antigen or a poison, because poisons are based upon the imbalances of your body and how your body interacts with the environment, and then what you bring into your body. So that's why the J juice is so revolutionary, because it has a balance of fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals, and that's what the protocol and the actual recipe is: lactic acid, micro and macronutrition, the prohormones. It has, like I said, the acid, it has the water, it has the electrolytes or the minerals, and then it's obviously a synergistic type of chemical process that's aligned with the body, that then allows the body to trigger the intelligence to release what it doesn't need and absorb what it does need, fix the weaknesses, and then you see a systematic healing. Now, people say, well, I don't like the word healing because it means that you're coming from a deficit, but you are. You guys are not well. You guys are not 100%. You guys are coming from a major, major deficit. So the J juice will give everything the body needs and supports it indefinitely in body, mind, and spirit, then allowing you to then use both the left and right brain together, and they merge together simultaneously. So you're not so overcompensating by being so left brain or being so right brain. You actually can use both sides of your brain and be effective. And there are specific measurable results. So, so that's why biotech and the holistic world, I don't care who you are, if you're some therapist or some holistic professional, some naturopathic, saying, oh yes, I got the answer how to use J juice where you don't have to taste it and do waterfalls. We'll just do a little bit here and there, or we'll take a little bit here and inject you with this. Sorry, but remember, everything is connected. And it's the amount of J juice and then your lifestyle and your diet is what the difference of you actually seeing the benefit. Because you can use J juice as a remedy, but it's not going to give you lasting effects. I mean, if you have heartburn, you can do J juice. You know, if you have all these different superficial issues like skin issues, okay, you can use J juice. But if you really want to trigger the indefinite life, you have to feel pain and you have to do waterfalls and you have to stick to a temporary diet. And I'm telling you, and those in the holistic and the allopathic world, if they're too afraid to deal with pain, the J juice will only go this far for them. It'll be no different than taking a side dish of sauerkraut like they've been doing anyways, which has done nothing really to advance humanity. Okay, so it cured your ulcers. Big deal. Now you don't have ulcers, but now you have brain issues. Okay, so for anyone to actually get the benefits of J juice at the Jilly juice level, you will not be mixing it with your holistic allopathic protocols. I mean, you might, but you got to now see that the J juice has to overwhelm everything that is in the allopathic holistic world. And so that's one of the hardest things to get across is some people think that they can just do a little bit of J juice here and there and they can play with it and they're still out there. They're still at that window of opportunity looking cute and having all these great little memes and they're great in their job and that's fine. But at some point your body's going to be shutting down and breaking down. And you're going to have to then forego all of your holistic cures because they're not going to work for you. And yeah, you may have to bring in the big guns of the allopathic because you let your body get that bad. And then you're going to try to do J juice. And then you're going to be so far gone that you say, screw J juice because it's too painful. And then you'll go and then get recycled into the system, literally and figuratively, and then maybe come back in the next life if you're lucky. So, so yeah, I mean, I'm seeing people coming back that were on my Facebook or, introduced to the protocol a couple of years ago. And, let me tell you, relative to where you are, people are going to come back to the J juice at some point because they realize that they're faced with triggering something that's going to force them to do chemotherapy, that's going to force them to do some kind of immunotherapy. And they know the outcome of that. And at some point you will be triggering something to where you're going to want to do J juice, but you hope it's not too late. But there is no way the allopathic holistic world is going to take my information and try to make it easier for the general population because there's no shortcuts. You can't take J juice in a pill. You can't take J juice in a bottle, or I'm sorry, in a capsule. Not even in a bottle, because you can imagine they sell, like I've heard somebody say that they sell some kind of cabbage juice in the market right now that it's, I guess, FDA approved or something. But can you, what's the warnings on the bottle going to be? Oh yeah, severe diarrhea or waterfalls. And if you have pain coming up, I mean, imagine if somebody were to take some kind of like product, like a cabbage juice, you don't even know how much salt's in it anyways. And if they actually took my juice and put it on the market, you would have to have a manual, like a book attached to it to explain to you what is going on and how much you have to take relative to your condition. So even the cabbage juice is on the market that's being sold, in these vegan vegetarian stores. probably have less salt than I have, and they don't nearly have as much of yeah, they probably have less salt because salt is the energizing force, and they don't want to have somebody complaining about waterfalls or diarrhea, or someone complaining about some kind of skin issue coming up, because that's in their predisposition. So so there's no, not even the food industry can take my recipe and make any claims on it, because people don't want to feel pain. They don't want to do waterfalls. They want to stay stuck in the system and bitch about and complain about their predisposition to everybody and their mother. And so I know I've cornered the market. I know I have. And some of you that are on the J Juice know that I've cornered the market, because biotech will not be able to replicate me. The holistic world will not be able to replicate me. I'm sure there are holistic influencers out there that understand J Juice, but they have an audience that doesn't understand that pain has to happen, and it has to be the right kind of pain. And you have to do waterfalls, and you have to feel everything that you've ever been predisposed to. And I'm sure those holistic gurus out there that are doing the J Juice are not telling their flock what they're actually doing. Because how do you explain to people that they have to feel every single predisposition that they know about, and even ones they don't know about? And how do you explain that, well, you don't know about this predisposition, but it came up, and then they'll blame you. Oh yeah, your juice poisoned me, or this juice poisoned me, and this and that. And any influencer out there in the holistic world is not going to risk any backlash by telling their people that they're doing J Juice or giving them the opportunity, because of the fact of how scared people are of actually taking accountability for their predispositions. So so that's why I don't take any videos from anybody. I don't listen to any other influencer out there, because I know where they're coming from. They're coming from the allopathic holistic fear world. I know exactly what I have, and I know I've cornered the market. And those of you on the J Juice know I've cornered the market, and those of you that are doing it know exactly where what I'm talking about. And so so either you do it or you don't do it. But there's no way that the holistic allopathic world is going to bring up pain when the Hippocratic oath in the holistic allopathic world, when you're a doctor, their whole premise is to mitigate pain. So there's no way they're going to be sanctioning J Juice as something that they're going to adopt. They're going to try to find a way to shortcut it, but there's no way to shortcut actual healing. Because when you actually heal, you have to feel pain, and most people are drug addicts. And when you're a drug addict, you don't want to feel pain at all. You want to stay like you're in your happy place 24/7 until you pass away. But on your way out, you're going to look cute. You're going to do your plastic surgery and have all these little memes to say how wonderful balanced you are, when in reality, you're a mess inside. But that's our system, is how much can you make everyone think that you're healthy, the perception of health, when there really isn't health going on inside. And so J Juice will make a hypocrite out of everybody out there in the holistic allopathic world. In a lot of ways, I do chuckle. I chuckle so much. And I can't help it, because I know what I have. And I know the people that do the J Juice know what I have. And then they will be movers and shakers in whatever they're doing, because they're going to be aligning their body, mind, and spirit, merging the left and right brain together, and they're going to see the world in a whole different way. And they're not going to be stuck in their activism. They're not going to be stuck in all of these different drama, political stuff. And they're not going to be reacting, because they're going to be focusing on what's important, making sure that they live indefinitely, live in a quality life indefinitely. And they're going to teach that to their kids, so they don't have a crazy ass future for their children. They're going to give their kids a leg up. And then when they actually get well enough and they know how to articulate this information, they'll teach their friends and family. And they'll exemplify well-balanced, not pay lip service. They actually will walk the walk, not talk the talk. And a lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. It's easy to put out a perception on Facebook, because you don't have to show your face. You don't have to do a Facebook Live. You can just write stuff and come off like you're well-balanced. But when it comes down to it, you're not. And so J Juice is saying, hey, you know, if you want to be aligned and not be a hypocrite in body, mind, and spirit, you're going to have to actually face the pain, face your predispositions. And not everybody's ready to face their predispositions, because they still want to stay stuck in their racism. They still want to stay stuck in all their isms, and they want to make everybody wrong around them. And then they wonder why they still have issues. And they wonder why I don't want to talk to them right now. You know, people private message me, and I'm done with the private messages unless it has to do with the testimony, or they're doing the J juice, or they're looking for the book, or they want to send me a testimony. But I have no reason now to talk to anyone unless they're doing the J juice, because I'm telling you, it's all the same stuff out there. There is nothing that anybody is saying out there that's new. It's all recycled information. So the only way I know that you're going to offer me something new is if you're on the J juice and you become innovative and strategic and actually change the world, not regurgitate what you already been told by other people in different ways. Okay? So that's why I don't do private message anymore unless you're doing the J juice and you're sending me a testimony or you're looking for the book. Okay? Because I don't need to hear regurgitated stuff over and over and over again, you know, composed in a different way. I'm looking now for something different, something new and different and innovative with the support of J juice. And if you don't have that in your background and you're not doing the J juice and you're not getting the book and you're not part of my group, then there's nothing that I really want, you know, unless I know you personally in my life and I have a different relationship. But if you're just a Facebook friend, there's nothing that you can offer me at this point, because I want to see something new from the population out there. I don't want to see the same stuff regurgitated, repackaged, remarketed. Okay, so that's why I don't do a lot of private messaging with people, because it's the same regurgitated stuff. Okay, so if we're going to have a changed future, we got to change your biochemistry. And if you're not doing the J juice, you're not changing your biochemistry. If you're all about healing people and their chakras and their energies and all that stuff, have you changed your insides? Have you changed your chakras and your energy and your biochemistry? Because if you haven't, then you're just regurgitating the same stuff, repackaged, coming off like you're healthy. So that's why I am the way I am. And you can call me narcissist, you can call me whatever. But I know what I have. I'm convicted in what I have. And good luck in trying to emulate me. But if you do the J juice, you could potentially get on my level or even above, because I don't know what you know. You could know a whole lot more than I do in some other area and be that much more strategic in something and be a mover and shaker in something. I'm just giving you guys the opportunity to heal and seal, and then have sky's the limit on what you could create for your family and for your future, for humanity. But right now, for those of you that are not doing the J juice, you're still spinning in the same looping, which I really don't want anything to do with. I want to see innovative people who are going to make a difference, not regurgitate. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.